What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Realistic Room of Wrexham. This is episode number 67, and as you can see there, we're into the crunch time of the season. We're taking on Leicester, Birmingham, Millwall, and Norwich in today's episode. And episode 66 was a bit of a rough one for us. We got knocked out of the FA Cup, absolutely battered at home by Watford, who reached the quarter-final stage. We then got, there was a humbling defeat at home to bottom of the league, Derby County, but the episode did end with a sweet note. As you can see there, we're third in the league right now, 5 points now ahead of Sunderland, who we beat in the last game of last episode in a massive 3 points at the Stadium of Light. We came from 1-0 down to win 2-1 in what was a huge game. So positives to take, certainly negatives to build on. But as we head into today's episode, we have 11 games left of the season. Let's carry on. Let's carry on pushing and try and pip Leicester to that second place, that automatic promotion spot. That is what we're aiming for. At the very, very least, we want to be in the playoffs. We want to be in the postseason, if not already promoted through into second place. Well, Vata and Chambers out injured for the rest of the season, but Alfie Devine has been shining for us. He has got a goal in each of the last 2 games. As we head into today's first game of the episode, it will be Millwall at the Racecourse Ground, a team who we drew 2-2 with back in December, I think it was. We led 2-0, but gave up a 2-0 lead in the final 10 minutes. It was really poor last 10 minutes as we kind of capitulated and allowed the hosts to get back through this man, actually, Fleming, who scored a brace, had a really good chance here to grab the go-ahead goal with a 1-on-1, but for a good save from Sam Johnston. Bar that chance, though, it was all Wrexham in this first 25, 26 minutes. To be honest, it was all Wrexham in this first half. We were peppering the goal, forcing the keeper, Sarkic, into a number of saves. And, well, I feel like this is probably a good time to touch on Matija Sarkic, who, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, but some of you may not know, he unfortunately passed away last month, which it's horrible at such a young age. You know, he was 26, just about to turn 27. So it was a big shock to the footballing world. And yeah, I just wanted to take a minute to pass on my condolences to his family, his friends, his loved ones, and a fitting tribute from Millwall, actually, who on what would have been his 27th birthday last week, they actually retired his number 20 jersey. So a lovely touch from Millwall there. And not much more I can say, but I just did want to touch on it. And poetically, actually, in this game, Sarkic was by far and away the best player on the pitch. He was making save after save. As I mentioned, we were dominating possession and creating chances, but Sarkic was just coming out with saves left, right and centre, just showing the kind of class that he did have. So yeah, we did manage to score one, though. Alfie Devine continuing his hot streak, making it 3 games in a row with a goal, and making it 13 on the season. And then in injury time in the first half, Smallbone, again, he was involved in both build-ups. He might not necessarily get the assists, Smallbone, but he is always involved in the build-ups. And he was involved in the first 2 goals. The second one, Divine Turd and Provider, finding Alex Lowry, who slotted home to give us a 2-0 lead. However, we were 2-0 up against Millwall in the reverse fixture, so we wanted to make sure that we didn't make the same mistake again, and we would come out the second half flying, and we would get our 3rd goal. Alfie Devine with a brace, assist from Lowry, so those 2 linking up once again. His 4th in 3 games and 14th for the season. A nice finish across the keeper, who was moving the other way and didn't have time to react. And then with 25 minutes left to go on the clock, Paul Mullin would grab a goal, a nice finish from our goal scorer. Lowry's 2nd assist of the game and his 3rd goal involvement as well. Lowry's been fantastic since coming in for the injured Vata. We made plenty of subs with the game wrapped up, as obviously we're entering crunch time now, so we need everyone to be as fit as possible, especially with the injuries we've had. You know, we don't have the biggest squad, so we need to make sure that we keep our star players fit. Into the last few minutes, and 2 of the substitutes, Lee and Corley Woodrow, would link up, but for a fine save from Sarkic, who was brilliant today in the net. And that would be it, a 4-0 win, a dominant performance, as you can see there. Mullin, Devine and Lowry all with 10 ratings, 10.0 ratings each, all involved in multiple goals today. And yeah, all played fantastically well. A really dominant display from start to finish, outstanding from that trio as well. Sam Johnston, just a couple of saves to made. The 1-on-1 in the first half against Fleming at 0-0 was a huge game. a huge moment, in the match. A big save from Sam there allowed us to go on and get all 3 points. So we're now just 2 points behind Leicester. They win to remain second, but we are still 2 points behind them. We are 6 ahead of Luton. Sunderland have dropped out of the playoffs completely. It is such a tight battle from kind of us and Leicester down to like 8th or 9th. It's such a tight group, and I feel like the race for the playoffs or automatic promotion is just going to go all the way down to the wire. So we have to pick up points everywhere we can. And, well, if there was a game to pick up 3 points, it is this one. It is the most important game of our season. I'd say it's the biggest game of our season, actually. Playing Leicester, who are currently second in the league, they are 2 points ahead of us. If we can win, this will put us into second place and our fate will be in our own hands. But if Leicester win, we'll be 5 points behind the Foxes with less than 10 games to go. So it is a huge match. We did draw 3-3 with the Foxes back in October. They've got that superstar front three of Boniface, Gula and Fati as well. I mean, I mentioned it when we played them before, but I don't know how this team is in the Championship, and I also don't know how this team isn't running away with the Championship because of their firepower. And Leicester would flex their muscles and grab the opening goal. Hamza Chowdhury beating the man, and then this is so poor from Sam Johnston, I'll be honest, beaten at the near post, but I just don't know what that dive is as well. It's really frustrating when goals go in at the near post like that. I'm not going to take it away, though, from Leicester. They were worthy of that 1-0 lead. They were dominating us from the first minute, basically, really showing that their quality was there to be seen. And Chowdhury, it was quite fitting that Chowdhury was the first goal scorer because Leicester actually offered us Chowdhury in the January transfer window. They offered a lump sum plus Chowdhury for Alfie Devine. Obviously, Alfie is not going anywhere. We would never be selling him. And then Chowdhury would grab the first goal, and then Gula, being set up by Fati, would double the Foxes' lead just after the half-an-hour mark. And then in the injury time in the first half, you see Leicester play a short corner, and I was out there with Smallbone, but the game was dragging Greaves out. Despite me trying to bring him back in, I had no power over it. It was annoying enough that they were taking a player out to the corner, but the fact they were taking my biggest centre-back and my biggest aerial threat kind of really irked me. And then the fact that Leicester scored from it, it just infuriates me because, you know, I'm up against it already, and then the fact that the game is doing stuff like that where it's dragging, not only dragging a player out when I don't need a player out there because I've taken Smallbone out there, but it's dragging my centre-back, who would never leave the box in a corner situation, especially when it's our biggest defender. So that just really infuriated me because I was up against it already. I was 2-0 down, and then Leicester went on to score from it. So they made it 3-0, Boniface with the goal. In the second half, we would show a better shape of ourselves. You know, we actually came out fighting a bit in the second half, but too many times we find ourselves 3-0 down before we're actually showing a bit of fight, and Leicester probably just took their foot off the gas more so than we took charge of the game. Jewison Bennett would get a goal back, his 10th league goal of the season, but Leicester would soon restore their 3-goal lead. Yuri Regier sliding in on Harry Winks and giving away a penalty, and Ansu Fati making it a goal and an assist for him as Leicester took a 4-1 lead in the 87th minute, and that's how the game would finish. Leicester dominated and dispatched us. That front three, we just could not handle them, and they open a 5-point gap over us, which is massive, absolutely massive for them. 11 points. I mean, how they're 11 points off the top of the table, I do not know, because they are impossible to play against. I found Leeds easier to play against than Leicester, but I guess Leeds had the consistency. So Leicester open up a 5-point gap in, you know, what was our biggest game of the season. We now need to look to react and return to winning ways as we head into our third game of the episode against Birmingham City. 19th right now, are Birmingham 7 points above the drop zone. So they're looking to open up a bit of a gap to that relegation area, which in real life, actually, Birmingham did get relegated down to League One. They're having some real struggles after being bought by NFL superstar Tom Brady. They've actually just had a massive downward spiral and are now in League One for the first time in a decade or so. So in game, they're looking to avoid that same fate and stay above the drop zone. Well, you know, I felt like after that Leicester defeat, we came into this one with a bit of fight and a bit of something to prove to our home fans, and we would come out the blocks flying. Paul Mullin giving us a 5-minute lead, his 20th goal of the season, and then on the half-an-hour mark, Alex Lowry would continue his good recent form, heading in from a Jewison Bennett corner. When Bennett got injured last season, he got a 3-month injury. Lowry stepped in that left wing role and was brilliant. And he's done the same again, but on the right wing this season when Vat has been out. I tried to start Lowry at the start of the season in that cam role. He eventually got dropped for Devine. But when we've needed him, Lowry has been fantastic, and he's a bit of an unsung hero in this team. And he's been patient with me as well. The fact that he hasn't started every game, but he hasn't really complained about it so far. And when we've had to rely on him, he has been reliable. So yeah, we would go 2-0 up through Alex Lowry, and then we would make it 3. Paul Mullin with a brace. Yuri Regier with his 12th assist of the season, which actually means he leads the championship now. And then going into the second half, Mullin had a good chance one-on-one. It was well saved, but we would make it 4. Jewison Bennett finding Yuri Regier with the header, his second goal of the season, Yuri. And that assist from Bennett means that he retakes the lead of the assist leaders in the championship. So Regier scores but loses the assist title for now to Jewison Bennett. But it's great to see that both Bennett and Regier are racking up the assists. They're getting involved with the goals, and yeah, Yuri's just been fantastic this season. When Ian Ritchie told me to sign him last year, I didn't expect him to have this kind of impact, but he has been phenomenal. I think he's up about 4 ratings as well. Yeah, he's been brilliant, Yuri. Double figures for assists from right back, and he doesn't take corners as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, big up Yuri, big up Jewison, who's been brilliant as well. We made plenty of changes as well. Again, being 4-0 up in the home game, just like Millwall, with plenty of time to spare, we made substitutes because we need these players fit going into the crucial part of the season. And if they aren't on the pitch, they can't get injured. So that was my thinking behind that. And, Johnson would make, I think that was his first save of the game in injury time to deny Birmingham a goal and to retain his clean sheet, which was very important. Glad to see that he kept a clean sheet. As we see the ratings there, plenty of high ratings for Bennett and Regier, as well as Mullin. Back-to-back 4-0 wins at home. Another dominant display as well. 2 assists for Bennett, a goal and an assist for Yuri, a right back. Another clean sheet for Sam as well, which I think is his 7th for the season. We keep chugging along, and we should be beating these teams. The Millwalls, the Birminghams. I am expecting us to win these games, so it's good that we are. But it is important that we beat the teams around us as well. And as you can see there, as we mentioned, Bennett's assist to Yuri meant that he now tops the assist leaders ahead of Fatty and Regier, both with 13, Alfie Devine with 12. Sunderland's Mayenda leads the Golden Boot race. He has 22 goals. Paul Mullin is just 1 behind on 21. As we head into the 4th and final game of the episode, and it would be Norwich at Carrow Road. 5th right now are Norwich, 6 points behind us, but they are on a hot streak. They drew their last game, which actually ended a run of 4 straight victories. But they are looking, they're one of the 4 form teams right now going into this division, going into this run-in. And as you can see there, they have the best defence in the league as well, just 35 goals conceded. Angus Gunn, I think, has the most clean sheets as well. So to put any past him is going to be a challenge. But saying that, we did beat them 4-1 in the reverse fixture back in December. So here's hoping we can complete the double over Norwich and beat a team that are around us competing for the playoffs. Well, after Mullin's shot went wide, Norwich would have a decent chance through Jack Stacey, but the effort went straight at Sam Johnston, and then Gibbs would find Kamara, and 40 minutes on the clock, the home fans would be on their feet as Kamara grabs his 18th goal of the season. He's chasing the Golden Boot as well, chasing Paul Mullin and Mayenda down, and Norwich would have a 1-0 lead, and then a great chance here for Paul Mullin to grab his 22nd goal of the season. Should have scored really, but it was well saved by Angus Gunn, and then Gunn would save the header from the corner as well in the second half as we look to fight back and find an equaliser in this one, and then Gunn again being the hero, denying Alfie Devine brilliantly down to his left. But this has been a much better second half from the visitors, chasing the game, chasing a goal. Bennett with the corner in, it gets flicked on by Lowry, and Jarrell Kwanzaa grabs his first goal for the club, and what a time to get it as well. Bennett with the in-swinging corner, Lowry with a flick on, and Kwanzaa is unmarked to the back stick to knock it past Angus Gunn. Finally, we've got a goal past him in this match, and we are tied at 1 apiece. But just 10 minutes later, Norwich would come back and Kamara would grab his second and Norwich's second of the game, his 19th of the season. And, we fought so hard to get back into this game, and we've just, thrown the lead away. I feel like we concede a lot just after we score. I think that's when we're most vulnerable, which is really frustrating and something I definitely want to work on. And, well, saying that, straight from kickoff, Norwich would potentially seal all 3 points here. Adam Eder, 4 minutes after Kamara's second, grabs hit the third goal of the game for Norwich, and he gives them a 3-1 lead, and what looks like all 3 points. Well, going into the final 6 or 7 minutes, Jurison Bennett is found out wide. He finds Paul Mullen. Mullen cuts inside, plays it to Koulibaly, whose first time finish. It gives us a bit of hope. 5 minutes to go. We are just down by a goal. Koulibaly won the ball back initially with a great sliding tackle. Wrexham got to work. Koulibaly was found again, and it's a great first-time finish, actually, from Ismaila. I think that's his second goal of the season, and a good finish there. Do we have time for one more attack? Smallbone out wide to Bennett. Bennett out wide to Josh Earl. Josh Earl, what can you do? Cut back. Find Smallbone. Smallbone to Bennett. He has Bennett inside. Jewison. We are into the 6th minute now of 4 minutes added on. He plays out wide to Regier. Yuri, can you get a cross in? Get another assist, my son. Yuri to Mullen. Oh, my word. What a goal that would have been. What a save that is from Angus Gunn. Paul Mullen with the volley on the weak foot. Heading to that far corner. Angus Gunn with a brilliant save. But the danger is not done there. We know how dangerous we are from corners. It is now or never. Jewison Bennett, can we snatch a point from Norwich here? What will be a huge draw. Bennett with a delivery in. It's headed out. Do we have a time to get to the ball? No, we don't. And it's going to be back-to-back defeats against teams around us. We lost to Leicester emphatically in Game 2 of this episode. We've lost to Norwich away. Not emphatically, we gave them a good go, but unfortunately, that's not, giving it a good go isn't going to earn you anything in these games. And as we mentioned, it's all right, putting 4 past Millwall and Birmingham, but when you're playing teams around you and these points are crucial, you have to step up and be counted for, and we weren't today. The Leicester game was a pretty disappointing performance. I was more impressed with our performance today against Norwich, but when there's 7 games to go of the season, 8 games to go of the season, you have to win every game. I don't care about performances. It's just about points. And now Norwich is just 3 points behind us. We're 5 points behind Leicester with 7 games to go. It is going to be super entertaining to going into this back end of the season. But before the end of the episode, it is that time of the season where we do awards, and you guys are going to vote for our player of the season, young player of the season, and signing of the season. So starting off with player of the season, we've got Sam Johnston, who came in and was just brilliant. After 2 months, we signed him off the free agency market and turned our team around, was solid at the back and kept so many clean sheets. He was influential in our rise up into the playoffs. Then you got Yuri Regier, signed him, 12 assists, I think, from right back. He's been brilliant this year. Alfie Devine, won Young Player of the Season last season, has just been phenomenal, pushed up into that cam spot. Rocco Vata, unfortunately got that broken toe injury. I think he would have been my player of the season. But his form, he was up there with Paul Mullen in terms of goals before he got injured. Then we have Jewison Bennett, who's just been influential down that left wing, goals and assists throughout the season. And then Paul Mullen, 20 plus goals again, chasing his 4th golden boot. So make sure you vote in the comments for who you think should be player of the season. Next up is young player of the season. Just 3 players up for this award because it is 4 players that are 22 years or younger. Alfie Devine, the first of that nomination. He won Young Player of the Year last season. He, as I mentioned before, he's just been absolutely fantastic. He started in that CDM role. We pushed him up to cam, and he has just flourished, double figures in goals and assists. And he's just been an absolutely amazing player for us this season. And then the 2 wingers, Rocco Vata and Jewison Bennett, both been fantastic. Obviously, Rocco with that injury. But yeah, get your votes in for Young Player of the Season. And then finally, signing of the season. 4 nominees after this. We did sign more players, but there are going to be 4 nominees. Sam Johnston, as we mentioned, brought in from the free agency market, took over from Wes Foderingham, who was awful, and has kept, I think, 7 clean sheets this season. He's been a rock at the back. Yuri Regier, as we mentioned, 12 clean sheets. 12 assists from right back. Jacob Greaves has been a unit at the centre-back role, signed him from Hull this season. He's been brilliant. And then Will Smallbone, who we signed on a pre-contract from Southampton last season, his first season with the team. He wasn't in the starting lineup for the first couple of months, and then once we pushed Alfie up to cam, Will came in at CDM. I think for me, he's been absolutely brilliant. So get your comments in down below. We've got a couple of episodes to get your votes in, But vote for your player of the season, your young player of the season, and your signing of the season. We've got a couple of episodes to get these votes in, and then the winners will be announced in the final episode of this season. So get commenting who you think should win these 3 awards. But that'll be it for today's episode 67. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. We are coming to such a crucial point of the season now. 7 games to go, 7 cup finals. Let me know if you're enjoying the series. Drop it a like, drop this video a like, sub to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in episode 68 very soon.